Welcome to Concepts of a Podcast. We don't have a podcast, we have concepts of a podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. Rate us 5 stars, comment and answer the poll on Spotify, and email feedback to conceptsofapodcast@gmail.com. This is episode 11, our top 5 favorite games. I'm Apex Dova.
Cowboy Bebop crew.
All right, let's get into it. So our first one we can start with, because we both kind of share this on our list, Super Smash Brothers Melee. You want to get started on what you think of it?
So basically, it's the second installment of the Super Smash Brothers franchise on the GameCube, and basically it did everything well. It basically made the story better, increased the number of characters, made the gameplay more complex, adding in air dodging, and down dodging, I guess spot dodging, I guess as you call it. And also added in the ability to catch items midair or catch items that are thrown at you. And just added more levels and complexity to the game in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And let's see what else they added in adventure mode. I don't know I think the original Smash Bros. Had some kind of story mode.
It was just an arcade mode, I think.
Adventure mode, and I think time trials I don't think was in the original. And they did have Break the Target in the original. Was it in Melee? I can't remember if Break the Target was in Melee.
Break the Target was in Melee, and they also added in the home run thing, I believe. They added in a ton of the different mini games.
Yeah. So they just expanded on the Melee on the Smash Bros. Formula. So, why is it? At least I'll speak to my own my top 5. People may feel like things got left out or snubbed or whatever. I mean, but there's like tons of honorable mentions which are just as good, and probably some I've probably enjoyed more than or could have easily been in the top 5, but these top 5 they got there because they all hold they either like the experience was kind of crazy or they hold like a special place in my heart. So, and Melee is one of those things. Like for me, Melee was just college. Melee was just a college experience. Like I feel like if I hadn't played Melee, I played it for the first time in college. I feel like if I hadn't played it, my GPA probably would have been like an entire point higher. Like,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Melee was it was a great experience in college. But for me, it unlocked like understanding. I don't care what Sakurai says. It unlocked understanding fighting games in a competitive sense. Like I studied Melee and like did homework and did all kinds of stuff, and like my personal story was kind of rags to riches because I kind of sucked in our college friend group at first, and then I was winning tournaments by junior year or was it sophomore year? I don't know, but
yeah. So Smash Brothers, like Apex says, was basically kind of like a gateway drug into competitive fighting games specifically, or like understanding the competitive scene and how a game could be like extremely competitive and sweaty. Smash Brothers like had a lot of advanced techniques, some of which were, I guess, maybe unintended per Sakurai, the creator of Smash Brothers, such as wave dashing, which I guess you could see as an exploitation of their physics system in game. But other things such as like dash dancing or like crouch canceling or other things were
shuffling.
were technically in game, but utilized, I guess, differently maybe than Sakurai had intended, or differently than Sakurai had like anticipated, right?
Yeah.
For me specifically, it's one of those games because it introduced the idea of metagaming. So basically, the game within the game of like getting into somebody else's head, of like understanding like, I don't know, even like distancing or spacing. Like if we talk about fighting games, understanding like priority of attacks, understanding like certain like guaranteed combos. You know what I mean? Like there's certain things, matchups and things like that in game that like you have to be aware of, and like counter picking people. I'm looking at you, Apex. Counter picking people with certain characters.
What do you mean?
But anyway, Smash Brothers Melee was easily, I will say, the GOAT of the series. I don't care what other people say. It is literally the best entry of that series. They need to remake it, but Nintendo apparently hates money.
And if they remake it, don't like do the virtual console emulation stuff because that stuff is terrible already. Like do like a legit like look, you own the rights in the content. Still a legit port of it. Like
Do right by Smash Brothers, Nintendo, please.
yeah. And the fact that it wasn't even included in the virtual console was like expected, but still like egregious. Like
And
I
I
don't
kind of
know.
get maybe why they're doing it. Maybe they're doing it so it doesn't compete or outcompete their own like entry in the Smash Brothers. But like,
It's
come on,
weird.
Nintendo,
It's
please.
weird with an
But
H.
anyway, this isn't a hate post. Let's move on.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
next my next topic is going to be Halo 2.
Halo
Speaking of
2 is great.
a game that led me into like more competitive gaming and metagaming, Halo 2 basically again the second in the series of Halo games. Uh, First entry that had online play via Xbox Live. The first entry didn't have technically online play unless you like use some third party stuff like Xbox Connect or KaiX Link. You know what I mean? Back in the day, those who know.
Yeah.
But it was a really, really good game. Gameplay got better. Story, I mean, they kind of dropped the ball at the end with like a cliffhanger, but again, like very good story, very good gameplay. Multiplayer was outrageous, had so much customization to it that like basically endless customization. And just overall a really, really fun, good shooter. And then the other thing I will add here, I know the young kids might not appreciate this, you know, the Gen Alphas and Gen Zs and all that. LAN gaming. So in college, back in the day, you could take your Xbox and you could plug it into your into the internet connection in your dorm room. And you could literally play people from across the like quad across the campus from your room. You didn't need like a paid internet subscription. You just could do it. And like honestly, like some of the most fun moments of Halo 2 were playing against random people who were present at your college at that time. Like and then later hearing the stories like at the cafeteria being like, "Oh man, did you play this guy? Man, this guy was crazy." And you're sitting there overhearing it and you're like, "Yeah, that was me."
They're like, oh, that Cowboy crew. Have you played him on the land? Like he's
Oh,
crazy.
or that Apex, he just sniped me from across the map. And it's like, "Yeah, that was me."
Back then I was Dr. Mario.
Yeah.
I'd play as Dr. Mario online. But I feel like you should at least highlight that tournament moment you had because
Yeah.
that's very noteworthy.
So when I was playing Halo 2, so when during the Halo 2 Smash days, I actually entered like local tournaments from time to time. And one of the tournaments that I won in a very I guess we'll call
Tactical.
it unorthodox way, right?
Yeah.
So normally in a game, you think that you would win because of like technical skill, especially in a game like Halo or like a fighting game, right? But basically I was able to beat people technically in Halo up until the grand finals. And so in the grand finals, I basically fought a guy who was extremely talented at the sniper rifle. So if people know, you could use the sniper rifle by basically like a pistol if you get really, really good at it. You can basically no scope people, is what they call it. Um, so this guy would no scope the crap out of me and kill me efficiently every time. So I sat there and I thought about it and I was like, well, I can't beat you if you have this weapon. So what I would do is if I got a kill off of him, like if he wasn't able to no scope me to death, I would literally take the sniper from him and like basically use it against him. And then once it was gone, I decided I'm gonna throw this thing off the map. Because then you can't use it against me, the playing field's leveled, and then you have to fight me legit. And the craziest part is I ended up winning because I was able to like basically outthink this guy, time the sniper rifle, and keep it moving. And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, he was probably salty at that he felt like it was cheating, but no, like that's kind of the meta game of the game. You realize like I can't win under these circumstances. How can I win? Let me change the circumstances.
Yeah, I love that story because it's definitely like a glasses pushes kind of moment. Like, okay, this is my strategy, and like, um, oh my god, all right, we gotta have to take a little break. Sorry about that. Yeah, yeah, okay. let's go into. We're gonna move on to my second of my top five because maybe that was my first. Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger was my favorite game for the longest time, and it's still one of my favorite games. I mean, time went on, games evolved, so like it kind of it kind of got displaced a little. But Chrono Trigger is kind of a is a very special game for me. I always wanted to play it back when it first came out, and like if you know, you know. But back in the day, it was still like 70, $80 plus, even used. Like it was impossible to find, and it was just crazy expensive. But I remember the first time I got a chance to play it was in middle school, and this story is like a core memory. It's still like ingrained. I can still see the middle school classroom where all this happened. But like, I remember I borrowed the game from a girl in my middle school class, and I still even remember her name, which is kind of crazy. And like that, it wasn't like I was just like I had any kind of crush or anything. It was just I don't even know how I found out she had the game. Honestly, now that I think about it, but I borrowed it, I played it, I beat it. I think I played it for like a week, and then I returned it. And the most cringy part of the story is I never like discussed it with her or like I just I know I'm gonna get canceled just for saying this, but like I never discussed it. I never brought it up. Like I think I even borrowed it again later on. Like oh gosh, but then I did eventually end up getting my own copy. But like I think about that story, I'm just like middle school game. What are you doing with your life? You're a disappointment. But
You mean
Chrono
middle
Trigger is
school
an amazing
Apex?
game. What is it?
You mean
Yeah,
middle
middle
school
school
Apex?
Apex. Yes, middle school Apex. Scratch that. Delete that footage. But yeah, middle school Apex was an idiot. But yeah, Chrono Trigger, classic JRPG from the '90s. I think it came out in I think it was '95. Amazing game. Even to this day, I feel like when you think of like a timeless game, that's like it's just timeless, perfection. Like no notes. You don't need to change it. Just keep reprinting it the way it is. Chrono Trigger fits that bill because even though it's like hand drawn 3D or 2D sprite animations, they're clean. They look good. Like it's a clean game. It's got so much replayability. It was like back then, and even to this day, to some extent. But back in the day, I really valued replayability in games, and Chrono Trigger was like literally like the epitome of replayability because you could like beat the game and then restart with all your characters keeping their gear and level and everything, and just play through the game. It had a new game plus, but like the enemies stayed at their original levels. You just went through and curb stomped them at a high level. But it was cool because when you replayed it, you could beat the game at different points in the story and get different endings. And they say they had like around 10, 15 endings, but even the endings could kind of be customized based on what you did during the playthrough. It was it was it was like miles ahead of its time in so many ways. Like I don't think really, games have really done anything to that extent until like very recently, maybe with like Baldur. But like even to this day, like I recently got a Steam Deck. Thank you. Well, thank you. uh, and yeah, and I plan on repurchasing it. Although it's kind of sad that it's like $15 on Steam when it was like 70, 80 back. The cartridges are probably still like crazy high right now, but yeah,
You can't put a price on timeless, I guess.
yeah, you can't put a price on it. But Chrono Trigger, goated game. Like it's so good.
Yeah, Chrono Trigger is definitely one of my favorites as well. It didn't make my top five, I guess, but it's a really, 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 really good game, right? It's got
Yeah,
character design by Akira Toriyama, RIP, rest in peace.
yeah.
It's got music, I believe, from one of the Final Fantasy like composers. The game is super tight. Like it has different team comp that you have with the game and different like combinations of super arts that basically you have with different characters.
Dual
Game
art
is
or
like
triple arts. Yeah,
yeah, the game is goated. And the thing is, like, people know it's goated because, like, for example, Sea of Stars, if you guys played that, is basically an homage to Chrono Trigger. Like, games have been trying to basically emulate its formula for a long time.
Yeah. All right. So what did you got next?
All right. So my next one, Sekiro. And those who don't know, let me explain. So Sekiro is a FromSoft game. The same people who gave you, Demon Souls, Dark Souls 2, like Bloodborne, Elden Ring, the whole nine, great games, gives you Sekiro, a Souls game set in feudal Japan, right? So the craziest part about this game is, of course, it's a Souls game. It's super difficult, like really, really difficult. So they have this new parry mechanic in this game, where basically the entire game is based around the idea that you have to parry people's attacks. There's only one build in the game. There's no like multiple builds. There's no mages. There's nothing like that. You basically have to play as a samurai and learn how to parry, dodge, when to go in, when to like back away. You basically need to learn the dance of battle. The craziest part about this game is that parry mechanic initially seems really, really difficult, and it is, but it basically it boils down to a like rhythm game. So once you understand the rhythm of battle and the rhythm of people's attacks and attack and defense, the game basically like you get this grand epiphany of how to play this game. You'll go from literally sucking one day to literally like at some point just like it hits you and you're like, oh my god, I see the matrix now. I know how to play this game. Right? The other piece of it is music, the setting, the environments, like the story. Like you get different pieces of the story, like kind of like a little bit piecemeal, learning bits and pieces as you go and do different side quests and things like that. And then ultimately, like the battles are super epic. The game is a masterpiece. Like I don't know if you've played it. If you haven't played it and you like the Souls games, please check it out. This game is like almost, I don't want to say infinitely replayable, but it's almost infinitely enjoyable. Like so many like tiny little details of that game about bosses and how they interact with different weapons. Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah, and I want to comment. The epiphany is real. When you get that epiphany and like how the pairing system works, like you just feel like you have like a spiritual awakening. It's kind of crazy. Like it literally is like you see the Matrix. Like I see it now. I think I may have gotten a glimpse of it for the first time with the butterfly boss, butterfly, Madam Butterfly. I think
Yeah, Lady Butterfly.
that's where they really just like, you know what, you're gonna learn pairing one way or another. Like, um, I remember with that game, I put off playing it for the longest time. I had already played Dark Souls and maybe Bloodborne came out before that too, and I was so intimidated by Sekiro. I was like, it's single player, so there's no like, going into other people's worlds and farming souls or anything, or blood echoes or whatever. I think it was Sin in Sekiro, but it was single player, so you couldn't go into other people's worlds to like farm up and test out runs and stuff. You had to just lock in and like just get good. And I was so
Yep.
intimidated. I didn't play it at first, but I have since eventually platinumed it. So yeah,
Yep. I think that's the one Souls game that I felt the same way. I used to like watch people on Twitch streams and be like, I don't know if I can play that because again, like I played the Souls games predominantly co-op. I mean, there were like Dark Souls 1 that literally I had runs where I played solo, but most of the time I was co-op with you. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But this game, I was like, you know what? How hard could it be? I got it, and it beat the crap out of me. There were times where I literally was like about to quit and like, screw this game. I don't understand this game. Like, why is it so highly regarded? I don't get it. And then that epiphany hit, and I was like, this is the greatest game of all time.
yeah, and you literally cannot conceptualize the epiphany until you have it. You just have to play it, get it, and like understand it. You'll understand. It's
Yep.
definitely one of those if you know kind of things. Like,
Yep. All
yeah.
right. You want to move on to the next one? What do you got?
Yeah, so my next game, also from FromSoft, is Elden Ring, and Elden Ring was like the culmination kind of everything FromSoft learned with their Souls and Bloodborne and Sekiro series. So, in some sense, it may seem like okay, it was just bigger and grander and better, but it was also it was so hyped, and it was like I think it won awards for how hyped it was, and it still exceeded those expectations. That's the craziest part for me. But like that game, like Oh gosh, it hit a little too different. It hit a little too hard when it came out. Like I think we played it for like a month straight, and like oh gosh, like I was having dreams about it, losing sleep. Like it was rough. I remember comment or posting on Reddit that was like, man, this game is like affecting my sleep and like messing me up and stuff. And someone was like, be careful bringing that up. They might like mark it as like a Schedule 1 drug or something. Like, I was like, oh gosh. But that game was like, it was yeah, they really learned and they went above and beyond in terms of expanding the Dark Souls formula with that one.
Yeah. I just love how they took so many things from all of their games. They took the Chalice dungeons from Bloodborne and made them into like those individualized dungeons in Elden Ring. Like they basically made a game. Like you know how so many games are called action or adventure games? Like that was legitimately an adventure game. They gave you a map and you would literally fill out the map by your own exploration and figuring out where things were or like where were the good weapons, and you could tell a friend like, "Hey, I found something over here. Let's go over here and get you that weapon and get you that magic." Like it's so good. Like I
Yeah,
100% feel you. That game was an addiction.
yeah,
Like and like the craziest part is like like Cyberpunk and it gets like trashed on because literally it had so much hype and it never delivered in the initial debut, like or the
yeah,
initial launch. Apex is right. This game actually delivered on all of its promises. This game actually delivered on all of its hype. Like whether you're a Souls fan or not, this game is real. Like
yeah.
it wasn't patched out heavily like in day one. The game was legitimately good.
It was built different. Yeah, that game. It was crazy. What did I want? Oh, and I just wanted. Yeah, I also thought about how I think I was in my MBA program at the time. Maybe I was off during a break or something. But like, if that game had come out in college, that's another one of those GPA takes a hit. If it comes, I imagine like, was it out during COVID? This might have been after COVID, but yeah, I imagine a lot of people are just their grades suffered because of it.
Yep.
But yeah, I think it didn't it come out in June though, so maybe not, but who knows? But yeah, Elden Ring goated game.
100% agree.
All right, what do you got next?
All right. So my next game, they nickname it French Persona. This is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. All right. So I guess the brief non-spoilery synopsis is basically you are a group of people who live in a world where uh, people basically get killed once they reach a certain age. So in this game, specifically, the age is 33. So again, like hence Expedition 33.
Yeah, I think
But
isn't like
basically,
every year it goes
yes,
down or something.
it
Yeah,
goes down. So every year the age comes down. At this point, it's 33. You're going to basically stop this woman named the Paintress so that you can prevent people from basically dying off earlier and earlier and earlier, right? So that is the basic story for this game. The story beyond that, it gets more complex, and I'm not going to go into that. But story is phenomenal, gameplay is phenomenal, music is phenomenal, and the game is absolutely busted. And so there's two different definitions of busted. One definition is the game is basically unplayable. Hence Cyberpunk 2077 when it first launched. So buggy that so many people sometimes couldn't even play the game or couldn't enjoy the game, right? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about busted in a good way, where you could make a busted character that just basically raffle stomps or is dumb OP, right? I'm talking about a game where literally you can make a character so broken through like their own perks system in game that basically you can one shot bosses. Some people make characters that were called nukes, and they literally would just nuke a boss and kill it. You know what I mean? This game was amazing. Like again, once you get to the actual story, you'll see what I mean. The other thing about this game is, and it's been doing something that I really had wished for a long, long time. there's so many, like, for example, like games that focus around like children or adolescents. This game focuses on like people who are in their adulthood and not like young adults like in their 20s. It focuses on people who are like well into their adulthood in their 30s. And like you get into a lot of adult themes in this game, which honestly, as an adult, I greatly appreciate it. So,
Yeah, I remember recognizing. Did Expedition come out this year or was it last year? It was
I think it
last year,
was,
right?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, last year. I
Maybe.
remember. I recognized it was like I think like within the first 5 to 10 minutes, I was like, okay, this game is built different. Like it's a different game. It's like even though it's turn based, the combat, even though it's turn based, you can still like actively do stuff and still be very engaged, which is really cool. I unfortunately, I'm not gonna ruin it for everyone else, but I got a huge spoiler in the game that kind of ruined the game for me. So it's like I couldn't. I mean, I could probably try to continue it, but it ruined the game for me because I started playing differently. I knew what to expect. It was a huge spoiler. That's early on. It's like that sucked, but
Stay off
I
social
still I
media.
still respect it. What is it?
Stay off social media when you're playing games, folks.
Yeah,
Please, for
yeah.
your own sake, do not stay on social media. You are going to get spoiled, especially on super hyped games or games that are
Or like
played
at least
by.
block certain terms or something.
Exactly.
But
Like,
yeah, it's that genuinely. I was like, dang, I really wish I had experienced that like authentically. But I still recognize it's an amazing game. Like if it won Game of the Year, or I think it, no, was that no, is that this year?
yeah, it should be like later this year, probably in December, I
Okay,
think.
yeah, it should win.
The Game
I
Awards.
feel like it should win. I think it's already been snubbed at one of the awards, but I vaguely remember seeing an article about that. But yeah, Clair Obscur is a great game. All right. So me, my next one. This is number what 3? Final Fantasy 14. I'm gonna at least specifically start with A Realm Reborn because that's where I started in the game. So I started after the base game was released, well into the patches leading up to the first expansion. So Final Fantasy 14. I'm not gonna go into it too much because there's a ton you can say about it, but it I played it for nearly a decade. I have like around 10,000 hours in that game. Like, how could I not put that in my top five? Like, it's the story's ridiculously good. I mean, at least up and through Dawn Trail, or no, it was Endwalker. Up through Endwalker was like peak story, and then Dawn Trail. I get they're trying to start a new story, and that's kind of where I fell off on the game. But it's not like it's bad. It's just it's starting a new story. It's hard to, yeah. It's hard to like if they're starting new and they're like starting from to build up a new climax. It's just I'm like I gotta wait till it builds up some more. So I'm taking a break from that and giving it some more time to flesh out. But from what I've seen, it does look good. It's just yeah, I don't know. But I'm not gonna go too much into 14. But 14, amazing MMORPG. I don't usually want to say of my top games that I highly recommend it, but if you're looking for something to play, if you can play it for free, I think up and through like the first 2 expansions. So that's kind of cool. And that's a ton of content. I mean, that's more than actually most games in general. Period. Like it's more than like it's like 2 or 3 games worth of content. So, and you can play it for free. So, yeah, 14, one of my favorite games. Yeah. All right. You want to go ahead?
All right. So my last game is Final Fantasy Tactics Original, not Advance. Final Fantasy Tactics. Whether you want to call it War of the Lions, Final Fantasy Tactics, doesn't matter. This game is basically a Final Fantasy game that got released around the same time as like Final Fantasy VII. So in the PS1 era, right? And so this is not a traditional Final Fantasy game. It's turn-based, but it's a tactical game. So like think about Ogre Battle, think about like I guess more recently, maybe like I don't know, maybe like Unicorn Overlord is similar-ish to the game, but
Like
not quite.
turn-based strategy kind of.
Yeah, turn-based strategy game, right? But the thing is, the game has a phenomenal, very deep story that goes into a lot of very like adult themes of like classism, racism, um, power, greed, politics. Like it goes into a number of different topics that like most Final Fantasy games don't entirely go into that depth. It's kind of a very dark storyline, like comparatively speaking to the other Final Fantasy games where it's kind of very bright and uplifting. You know what I mean? The music for its time is timeless. Honestly, the graphics are still good to this day. They hold up. Like, and also the game again has been remade multiple times over. It's gotten like anime cutscenes. At this point, it got re-released recently and has voice acting. The game is really, really good, and I think part of the reason it's in my top five is again, it spoke to me on levels that I think most games at the time when it came out, it didn't. And the funny thing is, lastly, I didn't actually play this game in depth when I was actually a kid and when it came out. Final Fantasy VII, like I said, overshadowed it. So I played Final Fantasy VII. I played this game briefly, didn't finish it. Didn't finish it until college. And once I was in college, I started playing. I was like, whoa, whoa, where did this game come from? And I was like, oh, this is the game from like '97 that came out. Man, I can't believe I like blew past this to play Final Fantasy VII. Don't get me wrong, Final Fantasy VII original is very, very good, but this game is definitely as good, maybe if not better for me. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Tactics. I think I played it off your copy for the first time in college. But I know growing up, I always wanted to play it. I just never had access to a PlayStation, so it was like I never got around to it. But I'm like, it's a goated game. It's so good. Like if you want to get into tactical RPGs, I guess you can probably start there. But yeah, it's a really good game.
yeah. Last
I'm a
piece,
fan of it. Yeah.
the
So my
game allows for
go ahead.
busted characters.
Yeah.
Like any game that allows for busted characters or character like creation is 100% goated in my opinion. Not like, oh, again, like the system's broken. It's that they give you a system and you finesse the system to make your characters as busted as possible.
Yeah. All right. So anything else you want to add on tactics?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. So my last game of my top five, Resident Evil 4. Resident Evil 4, I mean, for starters, I played it multiple playthroughs because I love replayability. Multiple playthroughs on multiple consoles. Like, the Wii version was really amazing. Like, that was that might have been the last time no, outside of the remake, that might have been the last time I played it. But I played it on the GameCube, played it on the PS2, was it? Yeah, I think it was on the PS2. Played it on the PS4. Played it the remake. I mean, I played it so many times through pretty much every time I bought it, and it's an amazing Resident Evil 4. It really took the franchise in a new, I mean, action oriented direction, but it was also like gameplays wise, it like kind of fleshed out the gameplay. I really loved how you could play it like you could play it how you wanted, but if you took the time to understand the game and like play strategically, the more strategically you played, the huger benefit you got from it. Like shooting people below their kneecap or in the kneecap, so they go down, and then kicking them to conserve ammo, and like there were so many like little niche strategies like flashbang the things that sprouted from the enemy heads instead of wasting all your ammo on them, and yeah, it was such a good game.
Yep. Upgrading your weapons, finding
Yeah,
treasure, combining treasure, like treasure maps to find treasure. Like you literally could play the game the way that you wanted. You could upgrade whatever weapons you were interested in. Like I just love the variability and the customizability of that game. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it did have New Game Plus as well, so you could go through the game and like do like solo pistol runs and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
yeah, it
The
was
other
so
piece
good.
of the
Yeah,
other
go
piece of
ahead.
Resident Evil 4 that was really really good is that I feel like they varied up the gameplay. They had quick time events. they had like other things that you had to do where you had to mash buttons, like where it wasn't like you're playing the same game throughout the entire game. They would kind of like switch things up. There was a boat part where you literally had to like take a spear and throw it into the water to hit something in the water. Like there were so many
Yeah,
different like gameplay
it was like a
elements that
quick
like
time event. I
yeah.
like I'm thinking of it was kind of like a quick time event boss, but I'm thinking of the knife fight as well with
Yep.
Krauser. Oh, that was so cool that I remember getting Cowboy. Cowboy brought his copy to I took a video game class in college. He brought his copy to the class, and like we showed the class the knife fight as like a demonstration of or a presentation on gaming and stuff, and we got someone to play through it at the same time. It was really cool. um, but yeah, that game is just so noteworthy in so many different ways.
100% agree.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it. Resident Evil 4, my fifth favorite game, and like the list. I mean, I would almost argue it's not any really particular order because it's kind of hard to place them against each other, but they're all like if we narrowed it down, we limit ourselves to five, and those are the five that made it. A lot of them just goated games, but also personal experience. Like, but yeah,
Yep. All right. So I guess that's the episode. Hope you
yep,
guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment on YouTube. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify and do the poll on Spotify and follow us on Spotify. Again, if you have any comments, leave them in the comments on YouTube. Leave them in the comments on Spotify, Instagram. And also, if you really don't want to do all that, you can also send us an email to conceptsofapodcast@gmail.com to leave some commentary. Thanks. So we're out. My name is Cowboy Bebop Crew.
I'm Apex Dova,
All
and we're
right.
out of here.
See ya.